Welcome back, gamers. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of emulating the fifth generation of video game consoles using the incredible Launchbox. But before we embark on this emulation journey, let's take a moment to explore the rich history of these iconic consoles. Now, the fifth generation of video game consoles, also known as the 32 64-bit era, marked a significant milestone in the gaming industry. It spanned from the mid-90s to the early 2000s, and introduced groundbreaking advancements in technology, graphics, and gameplay. One of the key players in this era was the Sony PlayStation. PlayStation was released in 1994. It revolutionized gaming with its CD-based format, allowed for a larger storage capacity, which gave you a more immersive gaming experience. It boasted iconic titles like Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid, and Gran Turismo, which captivated gamers worldwide. Sega then joined the competition with the Sega Saturn. That launched in Japan in 1994. Although it struggled to gain market dominance against the PlayStation, the Saturn still garnered a dedicated following, offering a unique experience with games like Panzer Dragoon and Nights into Dreams. Sega also released the Sega 32X as an add-on to the Sega Genesis, providing just a taste of 32-bit gaming for the current 16-bit gamers. Now, Nintendo's entry into the fifth generation came with the Nintendo 64 in 1996. It introduced innovative 3D graphics and a groundbreaking analog stick controller, which became a standard for future consoles. The N64 produced legendary titles such as Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and GoldenEye 007. Cementing its place in gaming history. Sega, Sony, Nintendo, they weren't the only players in the game in the fifth generation. There were other noteworthy consoles that made the mark during this period. One such console was the Atari Jaguar, released in 1993, marketed as the first 64-bit console. Due to lackluster third-party support, the Atari Jaguar failed to catch on. Some of its notable titles are Alien vs. Predator and Tempest 2000. We'll also touch upon some of the lesser-known consoles that were released. The NEC PCFX, the FM Towns Marty, the Commodore Amiga CD32, and even Apple released a game console, the Pippin. But today's video, we're going to concentrate on a Panasonic 3DO. So let's attack these fifth-generation consoles and play some Shockwave. The 3DO interactive multiplayer, developed by the 3DO company, burst onto the gaming scene in 1993. It was an ambitious venture that aimed to bring high-quality gaming and multimedia experiences into the living room of players worldwide. Boasting cutting-edge hardware for its time, the 3DO console featured a 32-bit RISC processor, CD-ROM drive, and advanced audio and video capability. What set the 3DO apart was its unique business model. Instead of being manufactured by a single company, it was licensed to multiple hardware manufacturers, resulting in different versions of the consoles. Some notable manufacturers included Panasonic, Gold Star, which is LG now, and Sanyo. The 3DO introduced gamers to a diverse library of games ranging from immersive adventures and action-packed shooters to sports simulations and interactive movies. It showcased titles like Alone in the Dark, Star Control 2, and Road Rash, captivating players with their impressive graphics and engaging gameplay. While the 3DO initially garnered attention and support for both developers and players, the high price tag and strong competition from the others, like Sony and Sega, ultimately impacted its market success. However, the 3DO left its indelible mark on gaming history as one of the pioneers in the realm of CD-based gaming and multimedia. Now, with the power of Launchbox, we have the incredible opportunity to revisit and experience the magic of 3DO games on modern-day hardware. Let's explore the world of the 3DO, relive some of those cherished memories, and discover hidden gems of this very unique console. Without further ado, let's fire up Launchbox and delve into the world of 3DO. All right, we have Launchbox open. There's all our games. We're about 6,900 games. been following along with my tutorials and somehow using the same ROM set I am. I did find a giant ROM set for the CDI on the Reddit ROM mega thread. If you check that out, there's, 1,800 games for the CDI. A lot of duplicates for regions, but you could cycle that down. So I have that downloading now. I'll import those later on. So you may see my total game count jump up. So let's install the 3DO. Tools, import, ROM files. Next. I'm going to add a folder. My R drive. I think I just have it under 3DO. There it is. We're going to select it. Next. It knows what it is. RetroArch. Next. I'm going to use the files in the current location. Next. Everything stays the same. Bezels. Same thing. Let's scan the ROMs. Here's all the games we have. I keep them in the rare format. 290 games. I don't know. Don't know how many there are. Probably got to be a lot of them. Going to import the data into Launchbox. We'll fast forward. And 3DO installed. Here's some of the games. But the 3DO actually had some softcore porn, Skinamax, if you will, type movies. You'll see a couple of them. Starring Janine, who was on the cover of Blink-182's Enema of the State. What was Vali? I forgot about that game. That's a pretty good game. Gex, of course, made his first appearance on the 3DO. The Horde, a silly game with Kirk Cameron. Incredible Machine's a great game. Jurassic Park, I really wanted this to be a good game, but it was terrible. One of my favorite versions of John Madden Football, it actually uses full motion video instead of polygons as the players. And it's a really unique experience, and it's a great game. Killing Time's not bad. There's a lot of good games for the 3DO now that I remember. I don't know what this is. Night Trap. I forgot they made Night Trap for the 3DO. Oh, Japanese baseball game. Another one. Probably the premiere version of Road Rash. Need for Speed's pretty good too. Turn Fire is great. You watch the movie In the Army Now, you can see Pauly Shore playing it. Sewer Shark, all the digital picture, I almost said movies, but all the digital picture games are on the 3DO. Slam and Jam. Shockwave, of course, we passed that. I don't know if they have Wing Commander 4. Ultraman. Way of the Warrior. Boy, that was a disappointment. Do have Wing Commander 3. Starring Luke. All right, so let's play around with the emulator and see what we can come up with. Before we get started playing some games, let's just check out this page. This is Libretto Docs. This tells you all about the different emulators you could use. So we're going to use the Core 4DO for the 3DO. It's actually Opera, which is a fork of 4Do. So this tells you a little information about the emulator. Okay. So BIOS. One of the following system BIOSes is required to run the software placed in the front end's system directory. So we have to put the BIOS, one of these, in the front end's system directory. So that's Launchbox/system. Okay. There's also some font ROMs for Japanese games that you're going to need as well. So here's the extensions that the emulator will read: ISO, bin, chud, and Q. Now mine are compressed, so they are in rare format. So we're gonna have to make a little change inside of Launchbox to make sure those ROMs get extracted before Opera tries to load them. So this is another great reference is archive.org. You can use it to find all old stuff. So use it to find retro arc BIOS files. Just do a search. We're going to download the 3DO BIOSes. We're going to extract it. We're going to take these files and we're going to move them into our Launchbox system directory. This should be all you have to do to get 3DO running. You do not have compressed files. If you do have compressed files, we're going to go up to Tools. We're going to go to Manage, Emulate, RetroArch. Remember, we unchecked that extract ROMs, so we have to now enable it for each core. I'm going to pick the 3DO core. We're going to say extract ROM. Now, you know if this worked, you'll see a progress bar extracting the ROMs when you go to load a game. So let's load Alone in the Dark. You'll see a little white bar going across and down loading. There it is. That's it decompressing your compressed ROMs. So it can get into a format that's inside that compression and run it, whether it's ISO, CHUD, BinQ, whatever. Mine, I believe, are ISO. Okay. Now it is a 3DO, so give it a good 8 seconds before you see the logo appear. Not the fastest console. Okay, there it is. You know the game works. Let's head out of it. Now I'm going to remove the BIOSes, and I want to show you what happens if you don't have the BIOSes in the right area or BIOSes at all. Let's load it. You'll see it uncompressing or decompressing. Again, wait a couple of seconds. Nothing. Blank screen. Let's get out of it. One good way to help you troubleshoot is to use RetroArch itself, or what's called the desktop menu. So to get to that, we're just going to right click on any game. We're going to say Open RetroArch. Now, make it bigger. We'll go to Show Desktop Menu. This will show you all the games you've loaded. Now you see that it tried to load Alone in the Dark, but it was missing optional BIOSes. It tells you right there it's missing it. Also tells you the supported extensions. So this is a good way to help you troubleshoot, see what's going on. It's kind of like a log file. As you can see with the CDI, it knows where the BIOSes are and it's green. 3DO, not so much. We deleted it. Let's put those BIOSes back in. Okay, I put the BIOSes back. Let's run it one more time. Seconds. There it is. It worked. Let's go back to the desktop menu and see what it sees. There it is. We're all green for BIOSes. So this is a good way to check to see if you have the right BIOSes. Also, a good way to see if you have proper supported extensions as well. That's it. You ready to play the 3DO? Let's try some games out. So Crash and Burn is the actual game that came with the 3DO. So right out of the box, you're going to see there's a problem with crash and burn. No matter what you do, it's going to loop into this coming soon from Crystal Dynamics. So there is a fix for it. You want to hit F1 to open up your RetroArch menu. We'll go to Core Options. You want to go to Timing Hack for Crash and Burn. Now, if you see, there's other games here. Dino Park Tycoon, Microcosm, Alone in the Dark, and a Samurai Showdown graphic fix. I don't know what happens if you turn all these on. I just turn them on as I need them. So backspace to go back, backspace again. Now I'm just going to quit RetroArch so it saves. I'm going to go back into Crash and Burn now. Coming soon. Let me guess. Total Eclipse. Okay, let's bypass this. Now we're at the main menu. I was always this guy. I don't know why.
Hey, mate. Nice day for a thrashing, eh?
I'm a showman first and foremost, and movement is the key to my success. To get the crowd screaming, I use a lot of swerving in my attacks.
I don't think there's any shooting in this. Oh, maybe there is. Someone's shooting at me.
A few minutes later.
Uh-oh. Out of my way. You know? Not a bad game. I can see myself playing this. Did the 3D ever come out with a steering wheel? I might have to buy one. Anyway, let's look at some other games.
This for the birdie to go one over.
Tell you, he beat the defender and he was wide open.
So that wraps up the start of the 5th generation consoles with the 3DO. I have to say, as I was making this video, and I started playing the games again in order to complete the end of this video, the different clips of the games, I started really playing these games. FIFA, Captain Quasar, Madden, Crash and Burn. I remember I bought the 3DO from Babbage's on release day. It was about $700. I was just a kid. I think I sold pretty much every console I had to buy it. Probably to Funkoland, so I'd get the cash for pennies on the dollar of what I paid for it, which I then had to rebuy back later on as an adult for my collection at probably 10 times the amount. But anyway, I remember plugging in the 3DO and just big and solid and made well. And I liked the controller. I liked that you could daisy chain them. Picture was beautiful on my 27-inch RCA TV. Something I'd never seen before. Coming from the Sega CD to the colorful, less pixelated, even though it was still pixelated, then the Sega CD full motion. I was in awe. And a lot of these games are really playable. Return Fire is a classic game. FIFA really started the next generation of FIFA. Madden's great. I would like to see how Madden continued if they used the full motion capture instead of switching to the polygons, but I understand. It really is an underrated console. I wish Trip Hawkins had his way and, he did wonders for EA and tried to do it for 3DO, and I wish the M2 came out. I wish they released hockey. Still to this day have not seen playable demo of the hockey. Got to be out there somewhere. I hope you enjoy these videos as much as I enjoy making them and reliving my youth and the nostalgia that it brings back. Even if it's just 20, 30, 40 of you, share, like, subscribe. Let me know that what I'm doing is of value. And even if it isn't, something about these old games and just playing them brings you back to a different time. So enjoy that nostalgia, and I'll see you next time with the Atari Jaguar.